Is my choice and my refusal to feel the terror and the original pain that was absorbed at conception?
Well, it's not just
choice?
absorbed at conception, is it? Because it's a process, isn't it, that was engaged by your parents, which began at conception and continued, and is probably still continuing now for the majority of you. Like any of you still have parents on earth, and even those parents who have passed, many of them haven't learnt the truth yet. So they're still continuing the same cycle with you. Yep.
Okay. My question is my refusal to feel those two things, which then creates the facade and then my addictions and everything else to avoid those two things, is that what creates the majority of my current soul condition?
It's the sin that you engage avoiding those two things that certainly creates a worsening soul condition, certainly. Yeah. Because every new sin you engage in justification of avoiding terror and avoiding pain causes more pain and a degradation of the condition. So it's like a wheel going around, a snowball effect, if you like, going around, worsening and worsening and worsening, and we're in the cycle because we're not seeing what causes us to make the choice to make it worse. And the choice to make it worse is driven by those two things: the avoidance of the emotions of pain that exist inside of us and the refusal to feel the terror about feeling pain. And those two decisions cause us to, every time we make a decision between something that's happening in our external environment, it's being made only to go for pleasure and to avoid pain. And every time we make that choice, we don't care what the subsequent results are, whether they're loving or unloving, whether they're truthful or untruthful. We just care about whether the terror gets suppressed and the pain gets suppressed and whether we get some pleasure out of it. That's all we care about. So we're driven only by those motivations. And we're even cleverer than that, Paige, because what we do is we tell ourselves that we're not driven by those motivations. Because we say to ourselves, I'm a nice person. I'm really a good person. I want to believe I'm a good person. Because one of the global terror that I have is that I'm not. And we'll see why that's the case later. But you know, I'm terrified that I'm not a good person, so I want to believe that I am. So a lot of my motivations are about reinforcing to myself that I am while I'm still engaging a whole heap of more sin. From God's perspective, degrading my condition.
So it'd be better to feel, or start with, I'm not.
It is far better to feel, far better to feel both of those things than it is to do anything else. And this is, but that feeling has to actually be a feeling in you. You can't manufacture that state of saying it's better. You can't tell yourself intellectually that it is better. You have to get to the point of feeling that it's better before you'll actually address it. We'll talk more about the deconstruction process later, but you have to actually get to the point where you feel it's better to feel your terror and feel it's better to feel your pain than do all the other things. And when you do that, that's when you that's when you start progressing to becoming your loving self.
And will your law of attraction, God's law of attraction, actually show that to you, that you're starting to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's very important. All of God's laws are operating for the purpose of helping the redemption of your soul from this state of creating sin to the state of no longer doing so. So all of God's laws are helping you, assisting you. The problem is all of man's laws, and I use the term laws loosely because we're really talking about society's general concept and parents' general concept. And to you, that is law. Because remember, to the child, that's law. Right? And we're still really running around like little 5-year-olds, still doing what law, society and parent-based emotions demand of us. We see parent and society-based emotions as our law. We do. And that's the law we engage. So their law is avoid that at all costs, avoid the terror at all costs, avoid the pain at all costs. That's their law. So that's what we run around doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, sad, eh? It's really sad.